With this video, we're going to mainly focus on explanation or elaboration. Um, so we will look at a series of pieces of evidence, and you'll decide between sample one or sample two which one is the stronger piece of elaboration. And so when we elaborate, um, you need to think about certain things like why is the quote significant? Why does it matter? What are the benefits or what are the consequences of the quote? Maybe you need to explain the relationship. Maybe it's a cause and effect. And then the highest form of elaboration is when you're able to create an analogy by comparing it to something that the audience is already familiar with. So let's get started on number 7. Here's our piece of evidence. According to the World Wildlife Fund, over 100,000 marine animals die each year because of plastic pollution. So which one is stronger, sample 1 or sample 2 for the elaboration? The World Wildlife Fund is explaining that plastic pollution causes lots of animals to die each and every year. Sample 2. This evidence is particularly relevant because it comes from the World Wildlife Fund, a trusted organization dedicated to environmental conservation, which adds credibility to the claim about the severe impact of plastic pollution on marine animals. So right now, I'll put a star by the elaboration that's the stronger of the two. If you chose sample 2, you were correct. And so, what about sample 2 makes it a stronger piece of evidence? Well, we've got that it's a trusted organization. So, the writer of this is pointing out the credentials of the quote. Um, I mean, the author is saying adds credibility to the claim. So, this World Wildlife Fund is an organization that has some credibility. They know what they're talking about. Also, there's some vocabulary that's used. So, we'll put vocabulary as stronger in this elaboration. I mean, particularly relevant. That's sophisticated. Um, environmental conservation, that's domain specific vocabulary, where this one is just simple language. All right, let's move on to number 8. The evidence hasn't changed. According to the World Wildlife Fund, over 100,000 marine animals die each year because of plastic pollution. Which one is stronger? Just like a healthy diet improves your overall well being, reducing plastic pollution improves the ocean's health. Or, just like junk food, too much plastic is bad. So, right now, put a star by the one that's stronger. If you chose sample 1, you are correct. So, what makes it stronger? Well, first of all, both of these are attempts at an analogy, and so we'll put an analogy. But the first one is the only one that really works because it's comparing a diet to the pollution. So it says just like a healthy diet improves your overall well being, reducing plastic pollution improves the ocean's health. So they are comparing something that we're familiar with our diet, what we eat every day, to the health of the ocean with the pollution. This one, there's not much there. Bad is not a good word to use. It's very simple and basic, and so sample 1 is just so much more of a better analogy. And then I would probably go on and explain even more how this analogy of this diet fits to this quote. All right, now let's move on to number 9. The evidence is still the same. According to the World Wildlife Fund, over 100,000 marine animals die each year because of plastic pollution. Sample 1. If we do not clean up the oceans, animals will keep dying. And that needs a comma. If this issue isn't addressed, marine species may continue to decline, disrupting the food chain and affecting human industries like fishing. So put a star by the one that's stronger. And it's very obviously the second one, so we'll put a star by sample 2. Now, what about it makes it a stronger piece of elaboration? Well, first of all, I want to circle we. We is a first person pronoun, and so the student's not writing objectively by using the word we. And then, secondly, this is including the consequences. If this issue isn't addressed, this is what makes it real. This is what makes it so important. Um, and so we're just going to put it includes the consequences. So when you're looking at a quote, and you're deciding how you're going to elaborate on it, I mean, if we don't continue doing something, will harsher consequences be the result of that? And so it's very clear in disrupting the food chain and affecting human industries like fishing. I mean, that's very clear that that's how it will be impacted. So that's a good way to elaborate on that. Now, let's put it all together. And so when we elaborate in an actual essay, your elaboration needs to be at least twice, maybe even 3 times the length of your piece of evidence. So here is the piece of evidence, and what I've done, I've combined all the elaborations that we've looked at with numbers 7, 8, and 9, and I combined it into one big elaboration. Now, your elaboration is probably not going to be this long, but this just goes to show what all you could say about this one quote. According to the World Wildlife Fund, over 100,000 marine animals die each year because of plastic pollution. All right, elaboration. This evidence is particularly relevant because it comes from the World Wildlife Fund, a trusted organization dedicated to environmental conservation, which adds credibility to the claim about the severe impact of plastic pollution on marine animals. The author includes an astounding statistic of more than 100,000 marine animals that perish annually because of plastic. These deaths are just the result of plastic pollution. This doesn't include other causes of death. If this trend continues, it may lead to the extinction of some of these marine animals, which will take a toll on the environment. Just like a healthy diet improves your overall well being, reducing plastic pollution improves the ocean's health. If this issue isn't addressed, marine species may continue to decline, disrupting the food chain and affecting human industries like fishing.